So what Jason and I met at that in COAC is like the legislative lobbying group for consumers in California. We dictate policy, be able to like actually write bills, and it was very cool as a young lawyer. Both were young lawyers at the time.
Yep.
To see how that shaped and formed, and probably 6-7 years later, we stayed in touch.
Yeah.
Actually, I tried to hire you.
Well,
Way
that
before-
didn't come till later.
Didn't come till later.
Right.
Laura, you don't know all these stories. These are good.
So you and I were at one of the Inland Empire Christmas parties in 2017, and you had the Pacific Erickson case coming up.
At Ricardo's house?
Yeah, we were at Ricardo's house.
He was still working for Ricardo at the time.
Right. And you had the Pacific Erickson case, and it was coming up for trial in January of that year.
Yep.
And so we were talking about it, and then this was like early December, you actually called me on New Year's Day, and you said, hey, this case didn't settle, and I've got these two plaintiffs. I've kind of got a conflict. Will you take one of the plaintiffs? And I'm like, well, who is she? And she's like, well, she's the passenger of the car. She's got like $13,000 in meds, but I got a conflict. I need you. Can you do it?
This wasn't the case when we were in Palm Springs with Dornick.
No. So, I mean, the backstory, like, there was no reason why this case they should have never denied liability. And, like, we had two passengers. And I thought, we're coming to trial. It's like, there's no way they're going to carry this story through trial. And then they did. And we had so I had the driver of a car that was hit by a semi. And there was a passenger as well, which we also represented, but they were blaming her. I was like, we can't. I can't.
Got a conflict.
I got a conflict, and but there was in my mind, I was like, why are they blaming my girl? Blah blah blah. And I was like, Jason, you know what, dude? We've been friends. We've been talking for a while. Let's just go try this case together.
Yeah, it was a blast.
We stayed at Mission Inn.
Eat at Dwayne's?
We ate at that.
The Salted Pig.
Yeah, and then we went to the cupcake place, Casey's Cupcakes or something, almost every night. And Jason so his client had literally maybe 10 medical visits, tops.
Mostly chiropractic, and I think she had like 2 or 3 visits with what do they call them, the family therapist?
Family therapist only. And Jason called 2 people in his case, the dad
and the client.
and the client, and got $3 million.
$3 million? Whoa.
No, let's take it back.
How much did your client get?
3.8.
Wow.
No, and this was, trust me, that the way this unfolded was like the most orchestrated. I mean, Jason will tell you, we walked in that courtroom where there was a lot of things we didn't know how it would like play out. And his client had no real physical injuries. So we just turned the case from jury selection on into emotional injuries.
Yeah. That's what we did jury selection on too. Like, who believes emotional injuries are real?
Wow. You got good jurors.
No, but listen to how we did this.
Well, I don't know where you're going with that, but that's what we did jury selection on, was on emotional injuries and, the court system and righting wrongs. And we had this one juror, the 80-year-old juror, that was the best juror ever. And on jury selection, this guy is asking her all of those questions and just basically preconditioning the entire panel on why it's important to be in court, why it's important, the jury is important. I mean, she was our best juror. She was fantastic.
She was the president of her Republican Women's Caucus.